going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
And we are live. What's going on, everybody? We are joined by, that's right, Better Together, two Spidermen right here. We got the OG English Brit Spider-Man, and we got the Island Vibe Spider-Man, eh? We got our own Miles and Peter right here. What's up, what's up? This is Super PlayStation Bros. How's it going, everybody? Ray the Gaming Cyborg, Miss Phoenix, Simply Pwned Gaming. Sam, what's the name of this song? It's actually a original track developed by a friend of mine. Watch out for that music. I'm definitely going to put up its own little video for itself. So be sure to tune into that. I'll be sure to post it everywhere. But I believe it's called Where Are You Going by Oh My Gosh, featuring Filthy, but you'll only find it here on our opening song. But let's get into it. Super PlayStation Bros. We got a lot going on. Today is the day the embargo is lifted. That's why we are both dressed as Spider-Man. But yes, I am Rudigs. This is my co-host, Doragon. Dressed as Spider-Man. Hope you're doing well, good sir. How's your week been? Hopefully your elbow's healed up. I remember last week you were a bit sore for wear.
Better. Yeah, it's getting better. It's not superb. Obviously, like RSI and an overextension takes a little while to heal. I've been doing some strengthening exercises, but it does mean that I've not been able to get in VR at any point. So it's been traditional gaming for me over the past week. I've jumped into Forspoken finally after buying it for £20 not too long ago. So I've started that one. Don't try and hurt my kitty in a game. Try and hurt the kitty, I'm coming for you. And Square Enix, we need to talk about you not allowing me to go and take revenge for them trying to hurt my kitty. It's unacceptable. But other than that, I've not really been doing a huge amount of gaming. I've been editing videos together. I've been really excited for Spider-Man, trying to keep up with everything involved in that. Digging this out as well. It was very well buried at the back of my cosplay cabinet. But yeah, it's hype week. I'm excited. I'm very much looking forward to it. The launch trailer hit for us yesterday with all new story content, all new graphics that we've not seen before. I mean, what else can you think of when we've got Spider-Man around the corner? But what have you been up to first off, before we get into all of that?
Oh, wow. I got to pull up that launch trailer then and definitely give a shout. And what up, Jowman? 92 on Metacritic. Well, we'll be checking that as well. I'm not sure if that's a prediction or if that's the score we got. But thanks for stopping on by the show. And what's up, David Wilson? I want whatever Dorgon has had for breakfast. Yeah.
You can't see my face. I have to do like whole body movements to get, points across and be engaged.
Well, this week I've been gaming on a PlayStation Essential Classic. That is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I will say such an amazing journey, beautiful story, absolutely wacky characters. Had me going the entire time. I used the fat chocobo in every summon situation I could. The novel combat system absolutely kept me engaged and had so much fun using it. Even went on directly into the intermission, and I got to play as Yuffie, which is a ninja. Amazing attacks. They even evolved the game further, introducing synergistic attacks where you team up with your buddies and your party and you do these even stronger abilities. I absolutely am recommending this game 100%. If you have the PS Plus subscription, you can just go play it right now. And soon to come to PS Cloud, I believe it's pictures there. Absolutely great game. I cranked up the difficulty, and if you're wondering why there's no hard mode, that's because after you beat the game, they actually give you the hard mode. So I'll be not sure if I'll go through again because it is a in-depth, long story, and I can't believe they stretched out the first bit of Final Fantasy, what is it, 6 hours into a 30-40 hour game. Absolutely phenomenal experience. So top of my list. How many hours have you spent on Final Fantasy? So I believe when I last checked with the intermission, it was about 32 hours. So
Not too
definitely
bad
a
for
full
remake.
experience.
Like considering we've got the rest of it to come, like later this year or next year it is. That's not too bad actually. 32 hours for the first half of it. That's not too bad at all.
And there was a portion I realized, oh, I skipped out on some side content. So you can always check out the side content. It'll extend the game further. I'm just not a huge completionist type of person. But
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed it. Great title. But that's what I was up to this week. Yeah. And getting ready for Spider-Man because that's the big one. We got it pre-ordered, sitting waiting, pre-downloaded. I believe it's around the 90 gigs, and yeah, I'm all ready for it. I just want to be able to pull up the Spider-Man 2 trailer you were talking about, and so we can watch that, and then let's get into some reviews. So, unfortunately, you're saying you haven't been able to jump into any games this week, right?
unfortunately, not really. Like I say, I played a bit of Forspoken, but
Right.
otherwise, like VR is my life at the moment. I love the VR, but when this is not fully healed, I'm not going to hurt myself further by going in and slicing more stuff and what have you. I'm going to take a step back and let the body heal before I jump into it. And I need to be healed for Friday with those 19 inches of venom.
Yes. All right. Let's get into it. I pulled it up here. Let's see what they're giving us. All right. So this is the brand new trailer. Looking fantastic. Miles. My boy Miles. Hashtag my Spider-Man. Oh, the Sandman.
Yeah, Mr. Negative being back as well.
Oh, the symbiote.
It's so good. Like
Oh, the lizard.
everything that shows up here.
Oh, MJ. What? Did the symbiote just grab onto the lizard? What?
I mean, we don't know how this is going to go. This is just a launch trailer, and it's
Oh
probably
my
throwing curveballs at
gosh.
us. But
What?
this is a launch trailer. This is a hype trailer.
Did the symbiote grab onto the lizard?
It may have done. I mean, we know we've got powers where you can shoot the symbiote out from the arm and have it grab people to throw them in the air and slam them down. So it might just be an attack. It might be a story mode where it tries to attach the lizard. We don't know. We haven't got the game in hand. You and I, we are going to be essentially
Oh,
live reacting to some of the reviews as they go up right now. IGN's is available as we speak.
okay, let's read IGN's because Forbes, what are you doing to me? This is not how I want to start my hype train. All right, Spider-Man 2, who do we have here? Um, so you're saying IGN's is up?
IGN's is
IGN.com.
definitely up, yeah.
Let's see. Home should be right here. Top stories. Of course, it's not under top stories. Let's go into reviews. All reviews. No, it's not under all reviews.
I just did a Google
Spider-Man 2
search of
review.
Spider-Man 2
Found it.
reviews.
8. It got an 8. All right, solid. All right. Do they have a title to it? Thank you for Venom. That's what they're saying here.
I mean, it's Venom. We can't not be excited for Venom.
All right. So, how do you want to dissect these reviews here?
It's difficult to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're sort of semi-plagiarizing if we just read it word for word, but at the same time we're live reacting. We haven't got these like review codes before embargo. The embargo lifts as we go live on a Monday, so we're sort of got to read through it. They do start it off by saying things like they've got the unenviable task of following up 2 of their own greatest superhero games ever, which is a situation Insomniac have put themselves in. It's like, yeah, we made 2 amazing superhero games. Now we've got to follow that up. And from the beginning of this review, they're saying you're largely doing the same thing. And some people are going to hold that against the game, but it was so good in previous titles, and it will be evolving with the new tools that they've got and the new symbiote abilities that we get when the black suit attaches to Peter. I've never had a problem doing the same things again. I'm a narratively driven gamer, and as long as that story is strong, like the first 2 have been 2 of the strongest Spider-Man stories in history, not just in gaming, like in history. We're talking movies, we're talking comics, we're talking TV, the works. Like these are 2 of the strongest Spider-Man stories ever. I personally just want more Spider-Man stories with the excellent controls, with the amazing world that Insomniac build, and so on and so forth. And by the sounds of things, looking at what they're saying here, it's pretty much giving me what I'm asking for. More Spider-Man, new story, but they are saying it's a little bit by the numbers on occasion.
Right. So they're saying that it's in desperate need of evolution. But here's where I see what you were saying. They created the Spider-Man engine with the first Spider-Man remastered. They need to get their money back from creating that engine, right? So they're going to create the Miles Morales, and then they're going to create Spider-Man 2, and it's going to be in that engine, and we're going to enjoy these things, but they are going to be, like this review is saying, much more smooth, much more fluid, makes more sense. So it's just evolving on that engine. And they're saying undeniably thrilling for long stretches. That
Yes.
right there is very exciting to hear. Blockbuster in the most modern sense of the word. So a lot of these things are saying amazing stuff for me. Fight as stylish as possible. If you remember the Spider-Man combat, it's so much fun. You're constantly moving, you're throwing out gadgets, and they're just saying they basically evolved on that to make it feel better. So you're getting the things that you got in Spider-Man Remastered, but it's chasing higher combos, fighting as stylish as possible. Everybody's used to that. Could we have wanted more? Something that was novel? Perhaps, but they're giving us what we had before, but they're making it, polishing it better, adding slight adjustments.
Exactly. And we've seen it with not just PlayStation studios, but other studios across the world doing all sorts of things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There is nothing wrong with the way that Spider-Man Remastered, and Miles Morales work at all. Like, even booting it up on the original PlayStation 4, it still runs absolutely flawlessly. It is a fantastic experience on the older console, let alone both experiences that we've had on the PlayStation 5. One of my favorite games, one of my favorite series conclusions was God of War 3, which closed out the Greek saga of Kratos. And that was doing the exact same thing as God of War 1, 2, and Chains of Olympus. It was the exact same mechanics, the exact same animations, the exact same sounds, the exact same angry protagonists at the front, just ripping gods apart. Like, nothing changed. They just told the new story. They finished the story off. And the reason it was so good is it was just finishing that story off, and it felt so good in doing so. For many of us gamers at home, we're not going to pick apart that, oh, the combat feels too samey from last time. For most of us gamers at home, we're not going to pick apart that this little bit of window here, artifact's worse than this little bit of window here. Most people don't care about that, don't see that, don't give a damn about that. That's why the Nintendo Switch is so popular. So when they're saying that we're getting the same incredibly solid combat with a few new tweaks, adjustments, and add-ons like this perfect parry system that they're talking about, which wasn't there in the previous two games, when they're saying there's a slightly less, smaller emphasis on stealth, I don't like that personally. I'm a stealth gamer. I like my stealth games, but also it does fit in with Spider-Man. It's his quirky,
Not
I
me.
will throw a quip, and then in I go. And
So I
they've got new
was
gadgets.
actually happy to hear that, because
Right, yeah.
I want to just go in guns blazing. Pop, 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 pop. Take you on, take you on, take you on. Spider web. Like they're saying they've got this new gadgets they're introducing, the web grabber, able to just stick people together, which kind of plays with the philosophy better together. So I'm actually pumped to hear less emphasis on stealth, because nothing is more frustrating. Hey, Sam. Nice to see you in the chat. Wagaman, nice to see you. FCat, what's going on? And the Ron Slusher, hashtag make plays. I love, but what I hate is when you go in a stealth mission in a game that is designed for loud smash and grab, and the stealth system is kind of half-baked, and then it's like, like the Mary Jane sequences in the very first one. It's like,
Yeah.
those are always like I'm Spider-Man. There's no reason to be quiet. I'm just pow, 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 pow. You're in a web. Like, that's what I want to do. But
Exactly. Well, I'm just looking across the web at the moment, just at like titles of reviews. So Eurogamer have said cluttered but no less lovable action. GameSpot have called it Web Warriors. Kotaku say a PS5 showpiece just short of greatness. Games Radar, quite simply the best superhero game yet. Screen Rant, something never experienced before. Game Informer say it's sticking the landing. Empire are saying the king of comic book games.
oh, that's
Like,
nice.
there seems to be a lot of positivity around the game. A lot of the what appears to be some of the drawbacks, the negatives, the things that are knocking it down a point or two in a lot of these reviews is, oh, it's the same as before. And as we've both already said, when it's as good as what we've had before, that's absolutely fine by me personally.
Absolutely. Spider-Man 2 offers significantly more in the way of enemy variety, which is something that I always pinpoint. I was actually one of my to bring it to Lies of P, they gave you puppets, then they gave you corrupted people, and then they gave you corrupted puppets. And it's like, come on. I like to see more enemy variety. Adds sort of evolves the game, evolves your tactics. That was something with Final Fantasy. Every enemy encounter, I mean, there was so much variety in the things you had to fight and encounter, and that's the same with Horizon. That's what makes it such an amazing game, is the variety of the enemy types and the way you encounter them. So I like to see this. I like where it forces you to do different things with different enemies. More variety is better for me when it comes to enemy types.
Yeah, like variety's good. They've started throwing more variety in the original Spider-Man with the DLC, The City That Never Sleeps. We got a lot more variety in there, and it did shake up combat. It made it much harder. It made it much more difficult. Having ways to counter some of that is nice, because there were certain enemies that almost felt impossible when they were in with a mob. So I've really got to get my hands on it now. I've got to see what I think about it. Everything says it's my sort of game. It's action adventure based, superhero story, and all of the reviews that I've been having a quick read of there are saying the true star of the tale is the story. And I'm a narratively driven gamer. I've said it many times before. I'll say it many times again. If that story is as good or better than what came before, which is what a lot of people are saying, I'm going to be a very, very happy man.
Oh, Miles Morales hit it out of the park. Spider-Man Remastered was a good game, but Miles, I mean, that story stuck with me. It made me say, like, Miles is my Spider-Man from here on out. So I look forward to playing this game. I love what Sony does to storytelling. I think they evolve it. They have a way of pulling you in emotionally. Um, so much so, if you watch me stream this, I'm sure you'll catch a tear or two because that's what kind of gamer I am. I have the feels for these guys. But I'm all for it. Get me emotionally hooked. Get me enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But here, I read this. This will be something that you'll like to hear. There aren't many benefits to taking a sneaky route, though, especially if you're playing Miles, you can still use his invisibility to take out enemies and perch takedowns possible, and new toys to play with too, such as the web line, create high wires. So it sounds like if you want to do the stealth attack, the stealth approach, they're not giving you too much benefits, but it's an open play style. Feel free to do that.
I will force the stealth, I think. Unless I'm in the black suit. You can't force stealth in the black suit. That's just rude.
Yes, Wilson, thanks for the shameless plug. Yeah, we will be doing a review of Lies of P here on the channel this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Be sure to catch on with a panel of people who have all played and beaten it, having fun, chatting about it. Now let's talk about the MJ sequences. This is, I'm sure, something that people have asked a lot about it. They never add up to more than a simple stealth mission or splashes of basic third-person shooting. She's certainly not sidelined, but it does feel a little more like could have been done, making her gameplay sections a bit more exciting. So it seems like it's a bit of a lull, is what I'm hearing. You know, the game is not perfect. We're here. We're saying what we're reading. The MJ sequences always happen to be the weakest, and it seems like they're still sticking to simple stealth missions and splashes of third-person shooting.
But she's a normal human. Let's not forget, MJ is a human in a world of superheroes. She was up against people like Tombstone last time, who is invincible. Like, Spider-Man can't damage him unless he's doing some magic sciencey stuff. Like, that's the sort of level of people she's up against that we're talking about. A stealth section, and bear in mind, like, she's just a reporter. She isn't some super agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. This is Mary Jane Watson, reporter for the Daily Bugle. She is going to be a little bit clumsy. She's going to be simplistic compared to everybody else. But I quite liked it in the terms of it gave you a viewpoint of what the real people
don't pull a
Garfield. How much of today's show is going to be Spider-Man based, says Wilson. We'll be coming to the end of it very shortly. It's just the embargo lifted as we went live. We wanted to get our views out of it. It's a bit of a preview, what we think, what people are saying in reviews. And then we've still got loads of stuff to be getting on with.
Absolutely. But what I'd like to see here in the MJ sequences, which I think that if I was making this game, this is what I would do, is they are more involved this time and serve the story well. So as long as they're moving the story with dramatic purpose and you have like the feels and there's tense moments and you know why you're doing it, it's not, oh, I gotta go grab the key card over here. Like, I don't want that. I want like heart beating, like I'm sneaking by for my survival, trying to get out of, like, as long as they're involved, I'm fine with it. There's good ups and downs to games, and I think variety helps you appreciate the other action, fighting, combat sequences even more.
100%, yeah. Like, I liked the MJ sections in the first game. I didn't understand what everybody's beef with them was, but as I've already said, I like stealth games. So even a simplistic stealth mission like that, it scratches an itch that I personally have, and not everybody's going to feel like that.
Hey, FCAT, I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Now, this I got excited for. So, combat aside, our Spider-Man can now swing around their friendly neighborhoods in more stylish ways than ever, with new spins and flips added, providing a Tony Hawk-like edge. That is cool. That is cool. I want to like surf off of buildings, traversal. When traversing is more fun than fast traveling, you've done a good job. And
And
that's
that
how
was
I
the
felt
case in the
like
first
in
game. Yeah.
Forspoken. And that's how I feel like in Spider-Man. And to add this like fun, like, oh, I'm glad on the side. Like if you're Miles, that's what you're doing. That's what you're having fun swinging around. So I can't wait to just have little clips of me like build surfing.
Yeah, it's the thing with Spider-Man games is they've always been good to travel around. Even the one way back on the PlayStation 1, that first one, even though you were like webbing off the sky, but it still felt good for what we knew at the time. This now, like the first game of Miles, the web swinging, the electrical boosts, and what have you, were amazing. Adding in the wingsuits and the difficulty of control of that, from what I've seen in previews and a couple of the reviews, is amazing. And like you say, when traversal is more rewarding, when you want to do the traversal rather than fast travel, when it's like 5 kilometers or more away, you know the team have done a phenomenal job. And as long as they've just built off the stupendous base that they had in those previous titles, I think we're going to see a lot of sort of gaming music videos on YouTube about people pulling off fantastic tricks and scores and such throughout New York City.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun to see surfing on like some historic buildings and whatnot. And don't forget they've added something that we've been seeing in the videos. Like Batman before him, Spider-Man can now glide and soar with ease, but not without limits. So it's not obviously you're now flying man, but you do have a glide suit. So that's very cool to see. You're going to be able to take 8 of windy corridors, and it's just going to add more levels of fun to the traversal. I don't think I'll be fast traveling, to be honest. Yeah,
I
fingers
don't think
crossed.
so. Even as fast as the fast traveling is, as we've seen in some of the previews, I don't think I'm going to use it. What's
So
the
the
point?
story swings just as elegantly between upbeat hijinks and solemn moments of reflection. So that's good. If a game can make you laugh and cry, bravo. Like that's engagement. That's you being connected to the game. So I felt that with Miles, and if they're just going to deliver more with Spider-Man 2, I 100% see it.
Yeah, 100%. I've said it multiple times today. Narrative-driven gamer. Loved the first two games. Think they're two of the best Spider-Man stories going. I'm looking forward to this one a lot.
So that's nice. Oh, and everyone's favorite. Now, if you're a David Wilson, you'll go back and you'll play Spider-Man 1 and you'll play Miles Morales and you'll do a completionist run. But if you're like 99% of the population, you just want that recap. So they'll be giving you that recap as well. So that'll be out there for you just to catch you up on where the story's been and where you are now. So that's always good to see.
Nice, yeah. Do we
Um,
think we've spoken Spidey enough at this point? Do we think we should maybe move on to other news that PlayStation's come out with this last week?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just on the hype train for Spider-Man.
I
I want to
know, I
see
know. One of
if
us has
there's
to drag us
anything
away.
else that they wrote here in the big red letters.
There we go. I'll remain half Spidey for you. How's that one?
Here we go. The side content, it seems in Insomniac a bit disappointing. So that is something that they're giving negative points to. So it's not all sunflowers and rainbows. The music. Oh, the music is going to be awesome. I can't wait. And the verdict of this review is overall, a great superhero comic book game, and it delivers a great tale, and it says open world falling a bit short, but reliably fun superhero power trip. And you know what?
Perfect.
Screw it. It really did make me feel like Spider-Man. So that's nice to see. The reviewer obviously enjoyed it. If you feel like Spider-Man, you enjoyed it.
I would say so, yeah. Unless you don't like Spider-Man, in which case feeling like Spider-Man's probably not a good thing.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, thank you, chat, for indulging us in our
In our
Spider-Man.
preview, our hype. It's one of those. When the
Let's get
embargo lifts when you go in, You
Yeah.
kind of have to give it a little bit of time, don't you?
Let's get into some news.
I love the wallaby
Oh,
background, by the way.
oh, thank you. It's a rotating. Is that a wall? Oh, look at that. Just see, it's Rue Diggs. You know, I've been thinking, okay, animation for Rue Diggs would be cool to have like a little kangaroo with like a Canadian patch and a shovel just hopping around.
What the hell is he going to sound like, mate? He's not going to sound very Australian, is he?
No, he's gonna be a Canadian kangaroo.
Is he going to be an amalgamation of the two? Is it going to be a bit weird?
There's Canadian kangaroos. I've seen them at the zoo.
It's like, g'day, mate. I'm Canadian, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I'm Canadian, eh? I can't do Australia. Uh, now, hey, Daryl Clouds, flick the wrist, Spidey. Thanks for stopping on by. Appreciate you coming in. We are talking PlayStation today. Feel free to like, subscribe, share. Thanks for coming on by the podcast. Now, let's get into it. Hands on. Sony InZone Buds are my all-new favorite wireless gaming earbuds. Now, when you first said this to me, I was like, all right, it's Sony, but is it PlayStation? And yes, it is. Designed for PS5. So if you're, like, wanting these earbuds that they're releasing, like I do, to use for my PS5, this is the interim solution. You can just grab these up now instead of waiting. Huge battery life. They're saying 12 hours, which is phenomenal. If you're worried about fitting it on, variety of different ear things. I watched a whole video on it. I'm really super interested in these InZone buds. Obviously, they're made with the InZone brand, which is Sony's top of the line, meant for all of that nice stuff. They have the InZone screen, which is the premier top of the line, offering you 4K 120, or they have the other competition mode, the 240 1080p. But when you see the InZone brand, you know that you're getting the absolute top quality of what Sony's putting out here. Did you have anything that you wanted to touch on? I know the price point is a little bit on the high side, so they are more expensive than what they're advertising the PlayStation ones to be at, but these are what, $200 price point?
This is the thing for me, and this is why I've had problems
Yeah.
with some of the PlayStation branded stuff in the past. These buds do everything that the new buds are going to do. They do the 3D spatial audio. They do dongle connection so that you've got your own Wi-Fi connection that it connects to. It's a USB-C dongle, so it can plug directly into the front of your console. Or if you happen to have a PlayStation Portal that has a USB-C jack only, you can plug it into there and connect directly to that portal. They also have Bluetooth, this magical, wonderful technology that allows it to connect to your phone or your tablet or your television.
Yeah, versatile.
And the Bluetooth mode has double the
24
battery
hours.
life. So 24 hours battery on a single charge, not including what's also in the case. That little dongle gets to go into any USB-C port, so it can go into Mac, it can go into PC, it can go into Android, it can go into iOS, because all of iOS has USB-C ports now. It's fantastic. And even though that those new ones that are coming alongside the Portal are $200 US and £200 UK, these ones are $200 US, £179 UK.
Oh.
So for us UK people, us people in Europe, these are actually going to be cheaper than the Pulse Explore earbuds that are coming with the PlayStation Link technology later in the year, and will probably be, because they are more versatile, a better purchase for most people, because it's not just a case of it can only be used with anything that's got PlayStation Link. It can be used with anything that this dongle plugs into or has Bluetooth. I really like the look of these. I like that they're the slightly out of ear ones, kind of like these earphones. And you've got a microphone down here. Everything I've seen says the microphone isn't great, but the fact that it's there, that you've got the option of one, should you not have something better, is amazing. And the cost is lower. They're still incredibly premium. It's the same drivers in these earphones as is in the XM5 super premium earbuds that Sony do, that like they are the audiophile earbuds. So to have the same audio drivers in these earphones and have them at £179 feels like a win-win for the consumer, this one. I don't know why all of the others exist now that these are on the market. It's a bit weird to sort of undercut yourself and then overpromise and deliver. It's a very strange strategy, but these buds have taken all of my interest away from the Explorers, 100%.
Yeah, and you turned me on to them, obviously, because I've told you my interest in the new PlayStation buds. So he's got a USB-C dongle. Does that go in the PS5? Yeah,
Yes,
it
so if
does.
you
Yeah,
wanted
there's
to
a
use
in
it
the
with
front.
a PlayStation 5, if you wanted to use it with anything else, really, you've got to plug that dongle in. Now, the downside for someone like me, the thing that I think is going to be a major positive of these earbuds is VR. The problem I have is I've got a launch model PlayStation 5. I don't have that new Slim. The new Slim comes with two USB-C ports on the front and two USB-As on the back, whereas the launch model, the one that you've got, the one that I've got, and most of the other people in chat here have, it's only got the one USB-C port. So if I plug my
Yeah.
VR headset in, that goes in via USB-C. I then don't have another USB-C port to plug these in. Now, I've got
You need
adapters.
an
It's not the end of the
adapter.
world.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of adapters to plug it in with, but not everybody is going to be in that position. So they feel like the position more for the PC gamer, for the mobile gamer, and even for those coming onto the new PlayStation 5, the one that has those two USB-C ports. I'm still very interested because, like I say, I've got the dongles. I've got ways around this. There's plenty of ways to turn a USB-C into a USB-A and still get that connection. And like I say, for VR, I feel like these are going to be a massively, brilliantly freeing bit of technology.
What is Daryl Cloud says, wait, so 3 sets of listening headsets, 2 buds, 1 traditional.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sorry.
We've got one heck of a setup, like, because obviously we've got the Pulse, we've got then the Pulse Elite, which is like an upgraded version of these with the dongle. We've then got the Pulse Explore, which are the PlayStation branded earbuds. We've now got these, the InZone buds, which have got their own dongle and the same drivers as the XM5s, the super audiophile buds. And then you've got those buds anyway, which can still connect to the PlayStation via Bluetooth. And so there's a lot of audio options out there for PlayStation at the moment. Just we kind of need the games to play with them and experience this wondrousness that they're offering the audio worlds for.
Hey, I'm just happy to have an option where I can use earbuds now. I think that was one of my biggest wants, and so I'll definitely be taking a close look at this one. But the only problem is, even on Black Friday, InZone brand never goes on sale. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's a point in waiting. I may just scoop them up now.
It's one of those, if it's something that you're really wanting, if it's something that's going to improve your experience, that's going to heighten your enjoyment, there is absolutely zero issue with spending money on something that is going to give you fun, enjoyment, and a better experience. There's no problem with splurging on yourself now and then, as long as it's now and then and not every day. It could get a bit out of hand. But yeah,
yes.
I think go for it. If it's something that you really want, if it's something that's going to improve your gaming life, do it. Why hinder yourself for a sale or something? If you can do it, do it. Look after yourself.
Heyo, it's the Mountain Man. Thanks for stopping on by, good sir. All right. Well, is there anything that you had left you wanted to discuss on these InZone buds?
I don't think so. They're a bit weird in a good way for us, the consumer, but it does make everything else that PlayStation are launching around audio a bit weird. Other than that, I really like these. They are the versatile buds that I've sort of been looking for a few years now. So definitely interested in picking up.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into the blog. Talk about what PlayStation's been going on this week. Actually, wait a second.
There's a big one you're missing here.
Where's the big one? Where's the big one?
Yeah, so
all right, we have
one.
PS5. Yes, and we had a show last week, and this literally dropped 5 minutes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes after we
got
finished
off.
the show.
We have PS5 cloud streaming launches this month for PlayStation Plus members. Now, this is the news that a lot of people have been waiting for. This is streaming access includes PS5 titles from the game catalog, game trials, and purchases from your PS store. So, awesome stuff, right? We're getting high choices in terms of 4K streaming. Basically, storage is going to be not a huge issue for people with good internet and access to PS Plus. Your storage issues are now sort of obsolete because you'll be able to stream a lot of these games. I'm hoping the stability, the clarity, the latency is all on point. I'm fingers crossed. And I think that's going to be the one huge advantage takeaway from this cloud initiative that they're bringing.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's kind of bringing PlayStation in line with Xbox, allowing us to play current gen titles in the cloud. You've been able to do that with Xbox since halfway through the Series X. It was in alpha for a long while, but ever since the Series X is the current one, isn't it? It was the One and the One X in the previous gen. Stupid names. Anyhow, they've been able to do that for a long while. We on the PlayStation side haven't been able to. We've been able to play amazing experiences in the PlayStation Cloud, and my experience has always been that PlayStation Cloud has been the most stable and best of all of them because it does exactly what it tells you it's going to on the tin. It allows you to play your PlayStation 3, 4, and Classics titles in the cloud without downloading anything at their original frame rates and resolutions, which, what more could you ask for game preservation? That's all you need, really. For this one...
Daryl Clouds actually brings a point. It sounds like PlayStation beat Xbox to the punch in terms of this is not a beta release. No, they are releasing cloud gaming. No beta.
Yeah. No beta.
This is for everybody.
This is straight release. Yeah. So PlayStation
and they're not charging the top tier price for a beta either. No, it's here. It's 2K. It's stable, low latency. Great point, Daryl.
Yeah, there's a lot of positives from this. The fact that we're getting 4K, the only other service out there that offers full 4K streaming currently, as far as I'm aware, is GeForce Now, and that's about £10 more per month than PlayStation Plus Premium. We've got the option to do 1440p streaming. We can stream up to 60 frames per second. We can record up to 3 minutes of our content and have it saved down to either to our app on our phone or down to our console, so that we can use this in edits and share it on social media and stuff like that, which is something that you can't do on other PlayStation releases on cloud gaming. There are some major positives to it, allowing you to play some of your PS5 digital library without downloading it to your console. It's a bit of a shame that it is digital library, it's not disc library. I think it should be a case of once you've purchased a game and stuck it in your device, you should be able to play it on the cloud.
Agreed.
If it is supported that way. But at the same time, that would allow people to just send discs around to like 7 or 8 people, stick those discs in their system. And I get what they're doing. They still want people to buy the games. So that I'm not okay with it, but I do understand it, if that makes sense. So I'm not hugely on board with that side of it. But the fact that you can play games that you own, that this isn't just a case of whatever's in the PlayStation Plus library, is fantastic. It's better than leasing games. It allows you to actually play them. I'm still going to be buying physical personally because of the issues I've outlined in previous shows with getting your money back if a game simply doesn't work on PlayStation. So I'm sticking with physical to protect my consumer rights. But I've got Spider-Man 2 coming at the end of this week in the collector's edition, and that collector's edition comes with a digital code. So I am very interested to see if that is one of the games that is going to be included in this cloud streaming. Because, hey, if I could just not have that on my SSD, that'd be amazing. Because my SSD's full.
Oh wow! I just got rid of Final Fantasy VII because I beat that and I beat the intermission, so I'm like done. Hey, Maker of Chaos, what up? What up? So I was able to clear that up. I have so much space. I don't know what are you filling up your well, you got a lot of VR stuff.
I've got,
So
I've
I
got a
can
lot of VR
imagine
stuff. I've got a
that
couple
that's
of
soaking up
long-term
some
games that are
space.
on there that's soaking up space. Destiny 2 and Temtem, for example. Both of them
That's
take
what
up
they
a bit
need
of
to
space.
do. Cloud VR. Come on. If they make that jump, that would be fantastic for your storage situation.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing. And it's not long to wait either. Like, they've got a staged release of it. So they're rolling it out across the globe, starting in the home country of Japan. We're going to have the Japanese people going live with this tomorrow, I believe, on the 17th of October. So we should be hearing about that this week from that side of the globe. We are then getting it in the UK and Europe on the 23rd. So I will be getting it before yourselves, and I'll be able to give you some feedback on how well that's working, whether
Ugh,
it's
you
changed
get
from
it
what we've got
before me.
currently. And
One
then
of
you
these
guys are
days.
getting it on the 30th. So day before Halloween, you guys get your 4K cloud streaming and such as well.
They're delivering it to 30 countries. So hopefully, if you're listening to this podcast, you are on the list. Be sure to check the PlayStation blog for the list. I am excited to see what kind of library they have. What sort of my digital library just becomes now instant access to play. Hey, it's really just an ability to free up a lot of space for your
Yeah.
PS5 if you have good internet and the PS Plus. That is the number one thing I can see. And the game trials, which is interesting. I've never seen a Hogwarts Legacy game trial. However, I heard that it's 3 minutes long. And that's an interesting. I know, here's the jokes. You can do a lot in 3 minutes. But I'm just saying, 3 minutes of Harry Potter is a little short. I hope that's just a rumor and it's longer than that.
I know there was a bug with Harry Potter early on in its launch, and especially with the trial that would cut the trial off at 3 minutes. I don't know whether they fixed that. If they haven't, then yeah, it's a 3 minute trial.
That's where it comes from.
But yeah, getting those on the cloud as well, those trials being cloud based. Ah, like, because they download the whole game. These trials download the whole game. They don't just download the trial sector of it. They download the whole thing. And then if you want it, you just purchase it and it opens the rest up. So
Yeah.
being able to try these through the cloud, not having to download them, just click play now, try now, whatever the case may be, that's going to encourage more people to use these trials, to take part in them, and it might encourage more sales going into these games and such as well. There's a lot of positives to pull from this. The negatives are it's only for PlayStation 5 right now. You can only
Right.
access this from a PlayStation 5 console, which is a bit weird, but at the same time, I do also understand it. That's their current gen console, and I imagine they will be bringing it to PC in the future because all of the current cloud streaming is already available on Windows PC. Uh, but I would like to see a wider rollout of this as well. We've got people in position at Sony who are there to build apps that go on different systems and are heads of global networking infrastructure. So I'd like to see a bigger rollout. I don't think that the sort of value adds that we've had said to us in the last couple of weeks after the PlayStation Plus price rise are yet equating to that higher level of value, but it's pushing it up. So that price rise is feeling less egregious than it was initially. I just wish we hadn't had the price rise and then all of the information of what's being added to it. I wish it had all been at once. This is what we're adding. This is the price rise that's going to happen because of it.
Yeah.
Hope you're okay with that. It still
Tell
leaves
us
a
that you're
sour
giving
taste in
us
the
the
mouth.
Sony Core Bravo with a streaming service, high bit rate. Like, don't just give us that as a surprise after the price rate. Like, make your people feel secure. But I guess they're like, oh, you should have trusted us. You should have trusted. Like, I don't know if that's the mentality.
To this year. 2023, we've not had much reason to trust Sony because they've said exactly nothing all year. They've stayed silent. So,
Yeah.
it's hard to trust a multinational, multi-billion dollar conglomerate when you aren't talking to us. It's hard to trust you at the best of times because you've only got the stakeholders' interests in mind. But then when you're staying silent, yeah, it's bit much to try and stomach that one, but we're getting better. We are getting better, and hopefully we continue to hear more about additions to PlayStation Plus like this as we move down the line. And as I say, I'll be getting this on the 23rd, so I'll be trying it out and giving you guys feedback on the podcast, whichever one comes after that.
Awesome.
I'm good with maths.
Now let's talk about minimum internet speeds. So they're talking 5 megabytes, I believe, for the lowest. That's a 720 stream. We're getting 15 megabytes up and down for the 1080p, and then 38 megabytes. And they have a little plus here, which is sneaky, for 4K.
It's anybody who is a gamer of serious aplomb, people who are going to be looking at cloud gaming, they're going to have internet connections that are going to be capable of doing the 4K. Most people are going to have the 38 meg plus anyhow, especially here in the UK and Europe, because that's now mandated in regulation and law that you have to be getting at least 38 megabits. And I know it's still rolling out in a lot of places, especially those rural areas here in the UK, because we have terrible infrastructure. But a lot of people, most of the people who are going to want to take advantage of this in the locations that this exists are going to have speeds like that. Japan, like I said last week, they get gigabit broadband on the street for free. It's part and parcel of just living there. So, you know, when they're not exactly struggling for these speeds.
Yeah.
And most of the people who
Wow.
are interested in this, who are going to make use of it and explain it to other people, are going to have the speeds.
That's insane.
I do worry that people are going to try and overcrank it. They're going to try and get 4K when they've got like a 15 megabit connection and what have you. I worry that people aren't going to realize that it's not always going to be stable. Like there's times when Netflix doesn't work for you. There's times where Disney Plus doesn't work for you, and so on and so forth. So I worry there's going to be a lot of negativity around it, with people not understanding that this works like these other cloud services that we're very used to in other forms of entertainment. But at the same time, there's a lot of good news, a lot of good feeling around it. And if it works well, fingers crossed, it expands the reach of it. They've, like I say, they've got the heads of global infrastructure, of networking and such, to be able to make this wider than the 30 countries that they've announced, which is 2 more than they had previously, I must add. So they've expanded by 2 countries, and hopefully we can expand by more.
And then we'll take over the world.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Yes. Awesome stuff coming from PlayStation. Glad to hear. And I think this will be a strong cloud release. And I look forward to seeing the full catalog, because we're just giving a sneak peek here. But look forward to it. All right. Anything more in cloud that you want to say before I click off here?
Don't bring the rain. Just be nice, fluffy white clouds.
Don't bring the rain. Well said. So here we have in the PlayStation blog, the Player's Choice Baldur's Gate 3 voted September's best new game. I don't think there's any argument really here. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of good things have been said about Baldur's Gate. Could we see this in the running? I definitely think a nomination for Game of the Year, if not taking the whole cake, based on sort of a rotation of game types and variety of genres that they'd like to showcase. Obviously, this was a masterpiece in its own writing, in its own genre. It really combined different play styles that we hadn't seen before, and it brought D&D to a bigger platform. So I thought it was good timing for the game.
I think it's definitely in with the shout of Game of the Year. We're getting to that sort of end of things where we start talking about what Game of the Year contenders are.
December 7th.
This is the only one from the PlayStation suite so far that has released on the platform that I think can really challenge for it. Obviously, Nintendo are probably looking at being runaway winners, as with their previous Zelda outing. But hey, Spider-Man is going to be one of those that enamors people differently as well. It's the biggest selling exclusive the PlayStation have ever had, outselling the 2018 God of War by 10 million units. They've sold 20 million units of the original Spider-Man PS4 alone, let alone remastered and Miles Morales. So we could have another Game of the Year contender there. But otherwise, yeah, BG3, phenomenal from a big indie studio, but an indie studio nonetheless, self-published and what have you. Fantastic work from them all. Wish they'd do a physical release because I won't buy it otherwise. But
Hmm.
everything that I've seen, everything everyone has said says it's got to be up there for a Game of the Year nomination.
And Ray, you don't need to share your personal life in chat, but we do appreciate the things you do.
Yeah, hmm. Maybe don't go shouting about that on the street, Ray.
Well, I know everybody. I wanted to take a little break, but back to Spider-Man, the lizard. Okay, so the lizard has this is just what they're showcasing, the sort of evolution of this creature, how they took advantage of, they say, the PS5 to really bring all of these different dimensions to the character. I think a lot of storytelling aspect is also shown through the design. Um, they should talk about how he evolves through the story, going from here, let me pull up this one, going from sort of the man you see there transforming, wearing the lab coat, to his final form, which is unrecognizable, to his first form. So I think through even character art they're able to tell a story, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah,
uh,
it's fantastic what they've done here. I like that they sort of tried to start with the standard lab coat wearing lizard from sort of the original comics and the 1994 animated show. I loved the 1994 animated show. Still got the best
oh,
Spider-Man theme
so
tune of
good.
anything, but I loved that like purple trouser wearing, lab coat wearing lizard. That version of it was awesome. And I like that they're sort of paying homage to that with this first design here, where he's still got the lab coat on. But of course, he grows bigger, spinier, spikier, keeps shedding, keeps growing. That's not going to stay around forever. We get more of the Andrew Garfield lizard and more of a Godzilla looking lizard. I know Insomniac actually looked into real lizards for the design of this character, that they studied them
Yeah.
for a while, were face to face with them, having a chat with a little lizard sort of thing, like, hi, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, yeah. Do you want to look like this? You want to be in the game? Yeah, yeah. Like that one? Yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, I love that. I love that they've gone as realistic as they can do with such an unrealistic character, if that makes sense.
Right.
I love the look of the character. I love the lizard's character arc as well, especially where he's at in the comics now. I do wonder where they're going to go with it. It's Insomniac Spider-Man. It's going to be heartbreaking. I'm bringing the tissues. I'm ready to cry.
Ah, damn it, Connors. Is it Connors? I can't
It
remember
is
his name.
Connors, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Professor Kurt Connors.
Oh, he's definitely, because he has a family and stuff, right? And he's just trying to get his arm
Loving wife
back,
and
and
children. Yes.
oh, it's not gonna go well. But it looks to be an amazing, like, encounter, boss fight that sort of brings the story, and it evolves the game. You're fighting in the open world, and then they show a boss fight of you're fighting in a lab. Like, this story is going to persist, and it just builds for those epic moments when you're taking down a boss. And when you're talking about clippable moments, this game's going to be filled
Oh,
with clippable moments.
full of them, yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, I know we're talking a lot about Spider-Man. I'm dressed. We're both dressed as Spider-Man here.
I mean, yeah, come on. I've got the whole white spider on the chest.
Officially, I know we talked about it briefly, but some PlayStation Plus game catalog. I know it was leaked last week, but we have the official announcements. Gotham Knights, Disco Elysium. You can tell that they're really taking a Halloween theme.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
October, so feel free to get into some scares, courtesy of the game catalog. Any standouts there for you?
Gotham Knights is one of those that if you're not paying anything additional to play it, it's a well-worthy game in that regard. It's not something I'd recommend anybody go out and buy. And anything from the Dark Pictures anthology for Halloween month for October is a great spooky experience. It's a choose your own adventure game sort of thing. Your choices matter, they affect the ending of the game. This one was one of the better ones, according to my good friend Jack Trust, and she said it was absolutely amazing in her review, and people should give it a go.
Very cool. I know Purple recommended Far Changing Tides last time
She
we were
did
talking
indeed,
about it as
yes,
well.
yes. So
And what is
that's a
this
nice
game?
puzzle game looking like.
Eldest Souls. This is not on the front. This looks like a Souls type sword and huge boss game, which is right up my alley. That's and Roki. It sounds so familiar to my name. It looks like fun. Um, so that's cool. And Tekken 6. What? That's huge.
Tekken 6 is a good game. Tekken 6 is nice to have. We've got 7 as well through PlayStation Plus.
Oh, do
Um,
we? Okay.
I would I would adore if we could get Tekken Dark Resurrection, the PlayStation Portable title on the Classics catalog. I
Yeah.
love that game. The story and the narrative in that game is phenomenal. It's got, as far as I'm aware, it's still the biggest roster of characters from the word go without DLC or anything. I would really like to get Tekken Dark Resurrection from the PSP onto Plus. I think it would be great to get back into that.
Nice. Soul Calibur, one of my favorites. Couch co-op, sitting next to a buddy, fighting each other with swords. All the ridiculous characters they used to bring in. There's always fun there.
Cervantes.
I remember Darth Vader being one of the characters, and Yoda,
Ezio was in Soul Calibur. Ezio
Ezio,
Auditore.
yes. Then we have Ape Escape. They're always adding some sort of Ape Escape.
Love
They
the Ape
love their
Escape
Ape Escape.
games. It's one of the best. Like that franchise between PlayStation 1 and 2 was phenomenal. If you've never played an Ape Escape game, jump on them. Seriously, they're just stupid fun. Like just capturing apes in a net. It sounds ridiculous, but great fun titles.
And Phoenix says they are doing a Tekken closed beta for 8. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's not open. Okay, so I can't get it. Darn it. Oh well.
You got to go pre-order
And
if you want that one.
yeah. Oh, that's not the story. Where's my story for... Did I not copy the right link? Well, the access controller is released.
Indeed, yes.
Ah, here it is. Here it is. Sorry about that. So the access controller now has a release date. If you were looking forward to this bit of kit, as the English say,
Hey, nice
it'll
lingo.
be it'll be available December 6th. Obviously, it enables disabilities to play more comfortably for longer periods, fully customizable. I think it's a phenomenal idea, a great way to do controllers. I think this should be standard whenever they release a console. I really like the idea of inclusiveness here, and I also think that people could definitely just get this and do some crazy things with the controller. Like I'm sure,
Oh,
like
100%.
you could be an amazing player if you found some optimal way to position the buttons for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's no questions asked there. And the beautiful thing about accessibility is that it's not just for less able people. It's not for the disabled. It's not for those who are missing bits of their body either through injury, defects, whatever the case may be. It's not just for people who are mentally disabled. It's not just for people who are physically challenged. Accessibility is for every single person on the planet, which is why when they put these accessibility settings into games, they're better overall because more people can play. When you get an accessibility level controller like this as well, all you're getting is more people able to game in more comfortable ways. I may not have sprained my elbow with a controller like this. I mean, it's different for VR, but that's the sort of thing we're
Yeah.
talking about here. You could avoid elbow sprains and such. As you rightly said, you could do some crazy challenges with it if you so wanted, or you could just have someone play a game that can't play a game otherwise. Say you've got someone who's developed arthritis in their life, they've been a gamer as long as they can remember, but holding that controller now doesn't work with their hands because of their condition. They can keep gaming with something like this. It elongates someone's gaming lifespan. Accessibility is amazing. PlayStation have been doing amazing within it. I think they are currently at the forefront of accessibility in gaming with now hardware as well as their software. Don't get me wrong, Xbox have got their disability controller, their accessibility controller, which is also amazing, and it works with every platform out there, which is stunning from their side of things as well. But we need
Oh,
to
that's
see
great.
more games from third-party developers building accessibility settings in as well to allow even more people to play, and even people like you and I to take advantage of those accessibility settings and make our game experience more comfortable. I'm not as young as I used to be. My reactions aren't what they are. So if I can slow things down in a menu, like in Horizon Forbidden West, that little bit more, so it's easier for me to swap to the correct weapon,
Yes,
I'm gonna
agreed.
do it. I'm
I
gonna do
love
it.
those settings.
Yeah.
Even in Forspoken, they give you a lot of those settings to slow down time in between switching spell types, and I pump it up. Like, give me that. It's comfortable. It's not gonna change anything. I just want more time to be more tactical, and
100%.
it's,
Yeah.
it's very much like Final Fantasy VII, actually.
Yeah, accessibility rocks. Let's take more accessibility wherever we can get it. Like, well done,
Yeah,
PlayStation, on this controller. It looks insane. I love the customization of it. It's going to allow a lot more people to game in a lot more
it
ways.
nice, well said, Daryl. It does give me that arcadey like big box sort of feel. I can see that.
I can see that. Yep, I'm tracking with that one. Could be great for
And it
fighting
could be
games,
good.
says
It's
Miss
kind of
Phoenix.
like what they call the hitbox, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah. But
I think it's
that
great.
that is all we have for PlayStation this week. We got into some cloud. We got into Spider-Man reviews. But other than that, it's been a little quiet, and I think it's sort of the calm before the storm. We're about to see it sort of pop off here with Spider-Man 2 coming out at the end of this week. And of course, I will be streaming day one, minute one, enjoying the heck out of it, even though it's a little bit late for me, but I'll be having fun. Other than that, I'll be up to my regular streaming, 10 p.m. weeknights. You can find me on Rudigs, Rudiggz. Links in the description. Also, if you're into Battlefield, come shoot it out with Simply Pwned Gaming today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Jump into that community stream. It's going to be epic, a lot of laughs, and we all just have fun playing together. Dorgon, what are you up to this week? What's going on in your world? What can we see on your channel? Any videos of
So,
recent?
further rehabilitation of the idiocy that is VR injuries. I never thought I'd get an injury gaming. Like, this is a new world to me. So yeah, further recovery there. I am working on a video game review right now. I am really hoping to have that out before Friday, because the moment that box comes through the door with those 19 inches of venom, I will not be touching anything else, essentially. I do want to do an unboxing video of that collector's edition for you guys, so I will be recording that when I get hold of it. Outside of that, hopefully I get this video game review done and uploaded as soon as possible.
Yes, and don't forget to tune in to Cloud&Console, 10 a.m. on Wednesday. We'll be doing a live review of Lies of P. And next week at the same Spidey time, we'll be giving our reviews of Spider-Man 2 as well as catching everybody up on PlayStation news. So until next time, be kind and bring peace into the world.
Take care, guys.
And thank you, chat. You were absolutely amazing. Thanks for all the new faces out today. Cray Simmons Gaming TV, what up, what up? Thanks for stopping by the show. Same with Daryl Clouds and Sam. And thanks for everybody. Miss Phoenix, Rouster, Ray, SPG, David, everybody, you know who you are. Mountain Gaming, don't think I didn't forget about you. Take care and have a good one.
try, do I even need to? I die with the season leaves. I glide with the season breeze. True, my mind so easily spooked. I ride just to be the me who finds hype super decently smooth. Nice type, but as sick as beats.